new union, okay? Now, the Freedom Union of Australia, okay, has been set up and structured and architectured, right? And we are using the protections not of constitutional law, but of international law, okay? That's the way that we are attacking it, okay? Union membership is $200 a year, and I just simply say this, that in the last 200 years in this country, here in Australia, there has never been anything that's ever held power to account in this country than a trade union, okay? Trade unions have been the only source of power that has ever held big government, big corporations, big bankers, right, and held their power to account. They're the only thing that have worked for 200 years. Now that's the first thing I'll say. Now the second thing I'll say is this, ladies and gentlemen, is that all of the Australian trade unions are now a captive operation of overseas forces, right? They are no longer working in the best interest of Australians or this nation, Australia itself. They are a captive operation of overseas forces, okay? I refer to George Soros and the Open Societies Foundation. I refer to the World Economic Forum and their infiltration.
Oh, shut up.
What's going on here, mate?
Keep going, John. Just ignore him.
Okay. Now, they no longer represent the Australian people, their trade union members, or this country. They no longer do, at all. So, the Freedom Union of Australia, okay, has been launched as a new fair dinkum grassroots trade union, and it's being built from the ground up, okay? We have the best legal advisors, we have the best political and trade union guidance of any union here in this country, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So, it's going to be successful. It's going to be successful. We are already attracting quite significant amounts of new members. The membership is $200 per annum, and I'm here today with several of the National Freedom Union members. We came down early this morning in the Brisbane Broncos bus. This is our first public outing, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first public outing in public to announce who we are and where we're going, okay? This is it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we are finding with this Albanese's government and the rest of these state and territory governments and local councils and so on, this is what we are finding. We are finding that there is a two-tier policing system. There are laws that are applied to us with brute force, and there's no law that applies to them. Okay, that's what we are witnessing, right? Now, the Freedom Union, our position is this, and I struggled to find how I was going to try and explain this particular passage, okay? And I decided to use some words from Martin Luther King, okay? And the words are that all the Freedom Union demands is that the Albanese and all of the Australian political class, which is their cops, their courts, their councils, right, is that they be true to what they have all said and signed on paper, okay? They signed and have committed on paper, and we are asking them to stick to it, right? No more of this bullshit where they've got laws. They've got laws and regs, and they've got commitments they've got to honour, and they won't do it. They won't honour their own laws. Okay, because Because if I lived in, and this is what Martin Luther said, because if I lived in communist China or socialist Venezuela, maybe I could understand that these threats to our freedom of speech, maybe I could understand that these diabolical medical murders that occurred under corona or the coronavirus, right? Okay, would not apply. Because in those countries, they have never committed themselves to the safety and well-being of their populations over there.
For you to finish.
Back off, will you? Back off, I've been nice and patient with you all afternoon. Piss off. Piss off. Right? My answer, piss off. Okay?
There should have been another speaker over that side. Craig Kelly was the last speaker.
And her people were committed on paper.
Craig Kelly was their last speaker.
To international law, which forbids war and war crimes. Okay? So we've signed this. We're committed to this, right? And somewhere else, I read recently that here in Australia, that a respected law firm has triggered prosecutions before the International Criminal Court of Anthony Albanese and the LNP. All of them have been held before the International Court for war crimes. For war crimes, okay? War crimes for aiding and abetting war crimes of what is happening in Gaza. Okay? That's the facts. That's the facts, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now, somewhere else I read that it was a war crime to support and assist any government in their commission of war crimes. Now, under international law, if you pay taxes, because our obligations, our lawful obligation, ladies and gentlemen, Lord, to withdraw all financial support to a government who is engaged in war crimes. That's what the law says. And all I say is that the government, the Albanese government, is they be true to what they've committed to on paper. They've committed us and this nation on paper, in under signature, Lord, that to raw international legislation which prohibits war crimes. And now they are held before the International Court as war criminals. And because of that, ladies and gentlemen, because of that, it is now our lawful obligation to cease funding this belligerent occupation. Now the Freedom Union's job number one is to make sure that we cease funding these war criminals, okay? That's our priority number one. Join our union, $200 a year. We are gearing up to square off against this government, and we have the law on our side. And I say to everyone here, if you're sick of the talk, if you're sick of the political posturing, which goes nowhere, it never goes anywhere, join this union, ladies and gentlemen. Join this union. It's fair income and it means business. Thank you very much. Sausage, scissors, water, enjoy your day. Thank you, everybody.